Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. This is Francis doing a Facebook Live. I haven't done a Facebook Live for I think 4 weeks because I had a dream trip in Italy, and thank you so much for the people that actually commented on the pictures that I've shared. You guys are fantastic, amazing. And I wanted to tonight spend some time with you to just share some of the lessons I've had by traveling in Italy. And I'm sure some of you have traveled before in different destinations, and there's a couple things that we discovered while we traveled. I mean, just for Italy itself as an example, I mean, coffee is a different culture. You know, if you just want to travel in Italy and you just ask for a coffee, what are you going to get? You're going to get an espresso. Of course, there's no other coffee. That's just espresso. And then while you also travel, you realize that toilet and washrooms are pretty much different. And what about driving? Driving, it's a big different thing. I mean, I remember being on the Amalfi Coast, and you're just in the bus, and you should see how close they're getting to each other. Like, they're just so close. They have to wait until one car comes in, and then there's some people walking in a tunnel, and I was one of them. And it's scary because you have that tunnel and you hear the big bus behind, and you just don't know how he's gonna make it because there's already another bus coming in. He's coming back at you. They're already close like that, and you feel you just want to just walk and slide yourself out of the tunnel, which I know one of my friends did, and she had the whole back that was black. I didn't do it. I was just focused on getting out of the tunnel. But driving is so different, Is it good? Is it bad? It just is. This is how they're doing it. You would be in North America and drive so close to one person, they would probably yell at you and think that you're crazy. Is it good? Is it bad? It just is. Hey, my friend, how's it going? So, there's a lot of things that are different when you travel. So I just talked about, driving, and then there's a coffee. And how about the toilet? Like I said, I mean, I was sailing in a boat, which was an amazing experience, but I'm sure some of you have already done that. I've never really traveled that much on a boat, so the washroom is your shower. And so when you want to just go for the toilet, basically you pee and you pump that out, and then you pump the water back in. And if you want to take a shower, you have to find a way to just put your towel somewhere and then try not to hit that so that it's not wet, and then you're trying to do the whole thing. It's a whole different thing. Is it good? Is it bad? It's just different. I can tell you that when you have a real shower after that, you're so grateful for having just a standard shower. It's crazy. But what you learn while you travel is that you have to deal with what is. What is what is. There's nothing else you can do. I mean, I was with other travelers, and sometimes something would happen, and for me it was completely normal, completely okay. But for them, that was the end of the world. Like, it was really a bad experience. And it made me think, it's funny because this is the same reality. We see exactly the same thing. We live exactly the same thing, except one thing. The reality is different. My reality is different because of the perception that we have about the reality. That's the only difference. I just realized where else in my life I have a reality that I see and but I perceive differently. So maybe there's a bad reality that for other people is a good reality. I'll give you an example. I mean, when we were sailing, imagine I'm finishing my trip. I'm so happy. I have a sailing. It's 2 days on the water. And then there's one day that's fantastic. Then the second day, it's water. Water, thunder shower. And we have to leave early. So forget about swimming in the ocean. Forget about the whole experience like you imagine for a while. And you're like, I'm in Italy. And like, this is what I want to do. No, you're just cruising, or you're getting out of what could be a potential storm. We arrived, we docked at one place, and there was no swimming. Like I said, nothing. Is it good? Is it bad? I don't know. But what happened is that with what it is, I bonded with some people. I mean, I created great friendship. I saw them playing cards with cards that I've never seen before, And Bevan might watch this thing, but thank you so much, buddy. We had a great time. We decided to go for a walk when the rain stopped. We didn't know if it would start again because it was pouring rain. But the reality is that now I made a new friend. The day after, we continued to travel together, and I know that this guy is my brother now. So is it good? Is it bad? Did I lose one day of my time not being able to swim, not being able to be in front of the sun? Maybe I avoided a storm. Maybe I avoided, because that happened. These guys that were sailing before me, 4 or 5 hours of the sailing boat just going up and down, right, left, the whole thing. It was really crazy. Some of them were sick. Actually, one was so scared the day after, she took the pill that you take when you don't want to be sick, but she was knocked out for the full day when everything was sunny and beautiful. So why am I saying all these things? You know, we talked about driving, that's completely different. We talked about the coffee, about the washrooms. I just realized that whatever we have in our life, the reality that we perceive is just what it is. It's a fact. But the only reason why we think it's good or bad is because of our perception. That's it. I mean, that day that I had, while it was raining, I could have been really disappointed. And you're going to say, Francis, it's, you've been on vacation for, 21 days. Who are you to complain? True. I had nothing to complain. I know other people would have complained about the rain. But what I decided to make with this day of rain is amazing, because I have new friends now. You see? So that made me realize, I don't know if you're like me, but if you realize that all the realities that you have in your life is just a perception. Is it good? Is it bad? It just is. So if you can find something you don't like in your life right now, ask yourself, is it good? Is it bad? Maybe it's bad for you. Maybe it's good for somebody else. And if it's bad, what can you do with it? Because there's two things that you can do. You can either change your perception, or you just can take action. Because if you don't do nothing, then deal with it. You chose it. You chose that reality. And for me, that's a great lesson, because I know that if I don't like something in my life right now, I have two choices. I change my perception, because I've seen it exactly in my own life while traveling. Something that was amazing for me was not good for somebody else, whatever it was. But I can change my perception, or I can think that this will lead to something better. And I take action based on what is. For me, it was a storm. We enjoyed the city that we visited. I made a new friend, and how great is friendship. And that could be different things for you. So that's one of the messages I wanted to share with you. I don't know what your reality is. Just know that it might be a question of perception, and then that you can take action, because your reality is yours. We create it. That's it, my friend. I'm so happy to be back in force, jet lag, but that's okay. I'm happy to serve. I wish you an amazing week, and we'll see you next week. See ya, guys.